Hi everyone, thank you for coming to my Vulnerably Badass YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about how important it is for me to be in the nature regularly and introduce what kind of long walk I've done since I'm in Washington DC area or Virginia, and maybe talk about how I can keep doing this. So as you can see, I'm getting really tanned, but I'm doing 10,000 step walk every day, except for like when it's raining too hard or schedule conflict, so I can't really go for a walk because I have to stay with my son at home. I try to do every day, and on weekends or when I don't have any work, I try to go for longer walk like 10K, 15K. And I've been doing this since last August. I have been running 5K or 30 minutes at least 3 times a week for, I don't know, like for since 2008 or 9, I think. And more or less, I kept that going wherever I was. I started from Osaka to Korea, and even I got divorced and became single mom while my little one was at daycare. I tried to run, walk, and even fighting cancer. It was really important stress management for me. But since last August, since COVID hit, and I don't know, maybe because I'm getting older and because it was summer, too hot, running was too much for me. So I decided, why don't I walk? And when I walk, 5K seemed too short. So I started walking longer, and I said, okay, 10,000 steps. Then after I got used to 10,000 steps, I felt like, okay, go for more on weekends. So at least 10K or 15K, or as some of you know already, last December, I did a full marathon, walked 42K with my friend. So this weekend long walk is so important for me. And the first I want to introduce you the reason. I think this is because I read this book called The Naturefix. Back then, I think I was reading more of like neuroscience books a lot. Book called Spark, how exercise is not just good for your body, but for your brain. And then I started reading Naturefix, how getting exercise in the nature, being in the nature, help you with the brain or your well-being. So yeah, I think the most important part for me is being in the nature and just looking at the sun, feeling the sun. And also my favorite is looking at a lot of water. I think Haruki Murakami, my favorite novelist, he is a runner, but when he was in Boston, he was running along Charles River. And in one of his books, he mentioned, I'm not quoting word for word, but he said something like, the power of vast or tremendous amount of water that has upon human is something, so he said when he look at big river or ocean, it soothes him, or healing power. So I agree. And also when I was running along rivers is the best because you don't have any stoplights, traffic lights, so you don't have to stop every time you run. So since I started running in Osaka, running along the river has been my favorite. But not just the reason because I don't have to stop. The feeling, when you see the water running, or when you hear the sound of water. So here in Northern Virginia, I really love walking along the Potomac River, or there are a lot of lakes. So I really enjoy walking by some sort of water. So the sun is one, feeling the sun, and the second is water. And the third is just feeling the nature, like trees. And I thought when I was running in the summer, I was, and then the fall, when the leaves fall, I was feeling like, oh, how is it gonna be in the winter? It's not gonna be fun, no leaves, no color. But when I did long distance walk in the winter in Korea, it was amazing just to see these trees without any leaf in very cold weather. And me and my friend walked, even when it snowed too. So it's so amazing to see like just trees being there, although it's super cold, like minus 18 Celsius degrees, but they're just there. And I kind of think about my life too, whatever happens, the trees, they don't complain, they're there just waiting for the spring. And I feel the power of these trees. So yeah, that's another thing that I look forward to when I go for a long walk. So these three things that just simply give me sense of happiness when I feel these three elements in the nature. So yeah, since I arrived here in January, I've been doing neighborhood 10,000 steps, but on weekends I try to drive and try different places. So I want to introduce you where I tried so far. I have tried 9 different places since February 15th, or yeah, February 15th. And the first one was 10K Mount Vernon Trail. I started from somewhere called, I think it was Jones Point. No, not the Jones Point, but the airport, close to the airport. I forgot the name. And I went to north and came back 10K. And then the next one was again 10K Alexandria walk. That's where I started from Jones Point and went to north. So, which was great because I was able to see the old town Alexandria, and it's really nice. But it's not so much of nature, and I had to walk on the just regular streets. So in terms of feeling the nature, it wasn't fun, but at the same time you were walking along the very developed harbor area, so the scenery wise it was nice. I get to see a lot of boats or kind of leisurely vacance kind of places. And then the next one was 17K. This one I liked a lot. I started from Jones Point and I went down the Mount Vernon Trail and I went up and I crossed the Woodrow Wilson Bridge to go to Maryland, and I went south to go to National Harbor and went up and came back. So I experienced both sides of Virginia side and Maryland side of Potomac River, and that was the longest, 17K. I enjoyed it so much. And the next one I went to Holmes Run Trail. That was 10K. Holmes Run Trail was a little bit short, maybe depending on where you start, but in my course it was a little bit short, so it went on to just a regular busy street, so that part wasn't fun. But the trail itself was really nice, a lot of trees and nice river, smaller, what do you call, stream and rocks. And I saw some families with kids. That was great. Then the next one was I went to Riverside Park in 10K. So it's the south end of the Mount Vernon Trail, and I started from somewhere called Riverside Park. It was nice. There were picnic tables and you can see nice sun and the water. And I started going up, but after I went up maybe 3K or 4K, then it became kind of, again, busy street-ish feeling, so I didn't like too much, but maybe I would try later again and see how I feel. But again, And where else? Then, yeah, I did Mount Vernon Trail from Jones Point and north, I guess. And then I tried Lake Accomack. I don't know how to pronounce it right, but it's 10K, and I walked around the lake. And it had Lake Accomack Park, so it was kind of like a amusement area, although it's closed because of COVID. And I went around, and there was a little dam. It looks like a fall, and you can see water coming down. It was nice. So I went a circle, and I went down and back up. And another one, my favorite was 12K Potomacheritagetrail. So you, at the end of Mount Vernon Trail, northern end, you can go to more developed, busy area or really close to the water, and you don't really see many people going, and the street is not paved, and it's rocky. Some parts it's rocky, some parts it's sandy, some part I had to really climb up the rock to go to the other side. And there was a little fall too, and that was pretty. So I really enjoy Potomac Heritage Trail, but I didn't see too many people, so I don't know if it's safe or not. So if I have a long distance walk friend, definitely I want to try for even longer. I spent 3 hours, and I was expecting 15K total, but I was only able to do 12K because of how it wasn't a paved road, but like I had to go up the rocks and down, and walk in some sandy parts. So it's really interesting. So it's more like hiking, not just flat walking. Kind of, it's by the river, but still climbing up and down. So it's the most challenging of the 9 long walks I did. And then today I finished Mount Vernon Trail 10K. I parked a little bit south of Bell Haven Mount Vernon Trail parking lot, and then went south 5K and came back 5K. So as I speak, I shared some videos and pictures of these trails. So I hope if you live near DC or Virginia, Maryland, DMV area, maybe you want to try any one of these. And if you don't live here, maybe the weather is getting warmer and spring has come at some places, or spring is coming at many places. So maybe you want to go out and try your your area. And the app I use is called All Trails, and you can find different trails around your neighborhood. And my advice, if you are interested in starting something, my advice is make the hurdle as low as possible. So for example, if you haven't done anything like long walk, just start with 10 minutes and just explore your neighborhood, or don't make it too much. Like something that you can do without thinking too much, like 10 minutes. And the next time you do 15 minutes. The next time you do 20 minutes. Or like 1K, 2K, 3K. Or I used to increase by 500 meters. So like 1K, 1.5K, 2K, 2.5K. Something like that. So you kind of feel like you're doing some game. It's interesting to increase. And second advice is don't worry about how you look because I usually do it in the morning, so I don't put any makeup. I just put the sunblock and when I started doing it in Korea, because I sometimes just forget, I just kept my sunblock in my car. So whenever I woke up, just go out, put the sunblock, and just walk. And the third advice is try to just feel the walk itself or the nature itself. I usually listen to audiobooks, but some part of my walk I don't listen to anything. Just listen to birds chirping or water running, or just the air, so the trees, you can hear the trees or leaves, and feeling your feet touching the ground or your shoes touching the ground. So even just 1 minute, just mindful walk. And I don't know why, but just, it's so simple. You're just walking, but you feel so good. I don't know what it is. Being in the nature is one thing, and being mindful, is one thing, and you don't have any digital sounds or anything, but just natural noise. So those are my advice. Don't have too high goal, but keep it low, because consistency or keep it going is the most important thing. And the second thing is don't worry about how you look. And the third thing is just feel the walk itself. So since it's getting warm, I hope many of you enjoy going out and walking in the nature. And if you already do it, I hope you will try to find new trails or new places you want to try, or try for a longer walk. So my question to you is, where would you like to go for a new experience? Thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, and see you next time.